Today on Third Rate Content, we follow the ley line we discovered on our trusty OS map, and we followed it from Cawes Castle through Worthing Church, and today we dive deeper into the Shropshire Hills as we follow our ley line on our Shropshire ley line quest. Alfred Watkins, I don't know if he found this one or if anyone else has. It's been an adventure packed with mystery, so keep watching. Welcome back to Third Rate Content, and just behind me there is Rorrington Hill and Castle Ring Hill Fort. And Castle Ring Hill Fort is the next stop on our ley line, our prospective ley line that we found recently. We've already took in Cawes Castle and Worthing Church, the northerly extremities of the ley line on this OS map, and now we followed it down to the hill fort, Castle Ring Hill Fort here, and Rorrington Hill just next to it, and this follows in the straight line all the way down to Mitchell's Fold. So we're going to have a look at the hill fort, take in the views, line up Worthing Church and Cawes Castle, and then follow it down, as I said, to Mitchell's Fold to set us up for our final part of our ley investigation, which takes in another Castle Ring Hill Fort, a proposed long barrow, or at least tumulus, and Simon's Castle near Churchstoke. And altogether the ley is 12 to 14 miles. We haven't walked it all in one day, and it is very, very hot. It's the 11th of July today, hence I've got my sunglasses and my hat on because I don't want to get any sunstroke. So anyway, buckle up and I'll see you out here for some third-rate mystical adventures. Yes, our journey just started at Cawes Castle, the former abandoned and forgotten and overgrown former medieval castle built on an Iron Age earthwork. Cawes Castle is just to the lower right centre. It's the mound with it actually looks like a mound, but it is a small hill when you're close to it, and it's just with the trees at the back of the hill. The line comes past Cawes Castle, just to the lower right of it, and then straight down. Then we followed it down to Worthing, which is just here. You can actually just see the church on the right hand side of the village, and the line just passed outside the church, and then the line made its way directly to where we are right now on the Castle Ring Hill settlement. But if we were following it in a straight line, it would come over where we're standing and in a straight line that way, and you can actually see land where what is thought to be a long barrow just in the distance, and Mitchell's Fold is just over that hill there, but it's in a direct straight line. Very interesting. And just to our left is another hill settlement, Bromlow Callow, which is visible from all around Shropshire. You can see it right at the top of Whitchurch Road and Shrewsbury, because Whitchurch Road is a big long straight road, and that is on a clear day you can see that. It's very interesting really how it's such a Shropshire landmark, but low key and not really known by name by most, I would say. The mirrored view taken from Cawes Castle. So came from Worthing straight across to the Castle Ring Hill Fort just about here, and now we're going to go in a straight line to Mitchell's Fold, which is in a straight line in that direction. So you have got lines of sight. You would be, I think, if you follow the ley line theory, the navigation theory, I don't really know much. I haven't got the equipment to measure an energy line, but you would use your common sense and head in a straight direction that way, I think, and that's the way you go. As you can see, there's a slight valley. So yeah, this is right on line. There's something I do find interesting about hill settlements or hill forts or whatever they were supposed to be, is there's not usually a supply of fresh water that I've seen available at the ones I visited, you know, in Shropshire. I mean, you've got Cairn Castle, the start of our leyline journey on this series of videos. It was a medieval fortress, but it was completely overgrown and forgotten, but I couldn't see where they would have got their water from. And it's a rule one of building a medieval castle or any fortress, is that you need a supply of fresh water. You know, if the castle was besieged, that would be the first thing that you need, other than food and drink from food and other supplies. Water is the number one. But Cairn Castle had no fresh water. The closest I could see was a brook, you know, a kilometre away. And it's the same here at Castle Ring. There isn't a fresh supply of water. I mean, there's a stream just down there that I passed on the way here. But again, if you were besieged, if that's what the purpose of this hill settlement was a fortification, you wouldn't be besieged for very long before you'd give up because you ran out of water. So it adds to the mystery of hill settlements, hill forts, what they really were. I mean, were they for ceremonies? Were they for show? Were they for just partial habitation? We don't know. There's so many things that don't make sense that add to the mystery, and fresh water does seem to be one of them. And as you can see from the Castle Ring hill fort or hill settlement, if you just walked in a straight line that way or along there, you would come to Mitchell's Fold. But the path we're taking today goes between the dip between Corndon Hill and Lanfoire, so we're right on line. Yes, the line would have come, or still comes from the hill fort here, or hill settlement, and along this valley, small valley, up over the small hill to Corndon Hill, and then you're straight away over the hill see Mitchell's Fold. Pools do come into Alfred Watkins' ley rating system. I don't know if this is left over from the mine workings round here, or it was always here, but that would have a 3 out of 5 mark or so. But it is interesting how it goes straight on the valley, and I do wonder if we're getting into the ley navigation system, would you be expected to use your own common sense in reading these leys and walk along the high ground? I mean, it's all so easy to judge things with a 2025 edition consciousness. I mean, people in prehistory may have been adept at reading the landscape. There could have been notches, like Alfred Watkins says, to sort of signify your things, kind of like road signs, or other things that we're missing out on. Just to get things clear, I am no advocate of the new age, and I don't carry crystals around with me, etc. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it's just not what I do. Yeah, what is interesting is these summits of the hill settlements are everywhere. The ley, if it was real, would be down here, but you can see Lanfoire just over the summit of the hill there, Stapley, and also top of the summit of Corndon, and the path goes in between those, so the line of sight is unbroken and superb. So it all works at the moment. Summit of Stapley Hill there, just in the background as well. And that was very close to the first ley line we did this summer in our ley line series. Ley lines, they are great because they get some people so upset and their knickers in a twist. I don't understand why. We don't really understand anything that happened this far back in prehistory, and I don't really see us having a great countryside ramble and tripping over hill forts left, right and centre, and sites of significant, prehistoric sites of significance is a bad thing. I love it, and it's great for adventuring, and I certainly don't get my knickers in a twist about anything. Yeah, just on the way back from the Castle Ring hill fort on the way to Mitchell's Fold, I just came across, just off the footpath, this stone ring. It's not on the OS map, and I don't know what it is, if it's glacial deposits or it's been placed here later or what, but it's in a ring formation, and it definitely looks like the diorite that's available at Stapley Hill. But if anybody knows anything about it, tell us in the comments, because I don't, but it's very interesting. Weird. Anyway, on to Mitchell's Fold. So we followed the prospective ley line from Castle Ring Hill Fort just along here in a straight line, and it linked up with Mitchell's Fold Stone Circle. It's great to be back here again. But I would say if we're getting into the Alfred Watkins navigational ley lines, it would be pretty obvious where you've got to go next and where the ley line takes you. Not right over the summit of the hill, but down the valley in between Llanfware and Corndon Hill. Fascinating, but not for today. We were going to do the whole 6 or 7 mile journey today, but it's too hot, and we're going to come back here and complete it on another day. But it's fascinating how many prospective ley lines intersect here at Mitchell's Fold and go off all over the place, and we've just followed one here. But if you did enjoy today's journey, our speculative ley line theory and investigations, why don't you leave us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, but thank you if you have, hit the notification bell and follow us on Instagram if you're on Instagram. But it's been a fantastic adventure today, and we will be completing it very soon with our walk, shortcut really, to Churchstoke, just through the valley there. So if I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon. Third rate content, signing out on our ley line journeys and investigations, and goodbye, and I'll see you real soon. Not sitting on that today.